Miles Turner is not a world beater. He's not like some super duper star where people look at the roster and they go, damn, we got to go up against Giannis and Miles Turner.
I'm sorry, but no.
What's up, world? Welcome back to Cancel Thoughts. It's your boy Better Days here. I haven't made a basketball video in a while, but I really wanted to cover this because I think it's going to be the biggest story of the season as well as the biggest story of next offseason. And that is, where is Giannis Antetokounmpo going to end up? Because it's become very clear to a lot of people that Giannis's time in Milwaukee is coming to an end. So I want to show you guys a clip from their media availability that they had very recently where he kind of was asked to address it really quick. Before I get into it, though, if I, by the end of this video, earn you guys a subscription, do me a solid and like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out a lot, guys, and it only takes a couple of seconds. That being said, let's get right into it.
Yesterday, ESPN came out with a report about you and the Bucks talking about possibly trading you somewhere and you coming out with a team in the Knicks that you would agree to go to. I'm curious just how you kind of feel about that story and how you address it.
First of all, I haven't read that story. When the season started, I tried to get off social media, try to focus on my craft and the team. But yeah, I've said this many times. Like, I want to be in a situation that I can win, and now I'm here. I believe in this team. I believe in my teammates. You know, I'm here to lead this team to wherever we can go. And it's definitely gonna be hard. We're gonna take it day by day, but I'm here. So all the other extra stuff does not matter. I think I've communicated with my teammates, communicate with the people that I respect and love, that the moment that I step in on this court or in this facility and wear this jersey, the rest does not matter. I'm locked into whatever I have in front of me. Now, if in 6-7 months I change my mind, I think that's human too. You're allowed to make any decision you want, but I'm locked in. I'm locked into this team. I'm locked into these guys, to this group, and to my coaching staff, and to myself.
Isn't that a great PR answer? Good job, Giannis. You came out and you gave the correct answer, okay? You were ambiguous enough to leave the door open and everything. But I really, really want to highlight 3 parts of this statement, and I want to tell you guys why I want to highlight those 3 things, because it's very clear to me that he himself knows that he's gone, okay? The first thing was he didn't deny that he went to the Bucks and they explored trade options for him. He said he hadn't saw the story. He didn't say that never happened. That's number 1. Number 2, Giannis himself doesn't believe in this Bucks team and doesn't think that they can win. Because one of the things that superstars who believe that their team can win say is, I want to win the championship this season, and I think we can do that, and my goal for this season is to win the championship. What he said was much more ambiguous than that. He said, I want to take this team to as far as we can get to.
Not all the way!
Which means he doesn't think that they can get very far. Now, number 3, he said that in 6 to 7 months, if he changes his mind, he's very, very willing and capable of doing that, and he's entitled to be able to do that as well because it's human nature. That means he's already thought about it, and he knows that they're not good enough to win the championship, and he knows that they're not going to be good enough to win the championship because the Bucks don't have the assets to make the roster around him better. Them doing all this desperate stuff, trying to waive Damian Lillard to try to stretch out his contract to get Miles Turner, was one of the dumbest things that I've ever saw. For this season, sure, you guys have gotten better because Miles Turner is actually going to be a live body and playing for you guys in this upcoming season. But you guys didn't get demonstrably better. He's not some upgrade from Damian Lillard. He's an upgrade from the absent roster spot that Damian Lillard was going to occupy because he wasn't going to play the entire season anyway. But outside of that, Miles Turner is not a world beater. He's not like some super duper star where people look at the roster and they go, damn, we got to go up against Giannis and Miles Turner.
I'm sorry, but no.
I respect NBA players, and I respect Miles Turner as an NBA player, and I respect everybody who's able to make it in the league. But if we're being 100% honest here, nobody else in the NBA is looking at the Milwaukee Bucks right now and going, damn, we are afraid of that front line.
Give me a break.
They're afraid of Giannis, but they know that Giannis doesn't necessarily have any help outside of that. He doesn't really have a second option. their second option is going to be something that has to be done by committee, and whoever the hell thought it was a good idea to give Kyle Kuzma a large contract to me needs to be fired as well. But outside of that, they don't really have any real chance of getting out of the Eastern Conference, even with the Eastern Conference being injury-riddled like it's going to be this upcoming season. The 76ers, you don't believe in them either because Joel Embiid is always going to be injured. But nobody thinks that the Milwaukee Bucks, even with Joel Embiid out, is going to come out of the Eastern Conference. And that's sad because arguably Giannis is still probably the best player in the league right now. It's a debate that could be made. I know a lot of people will say it's Jokic, and some people will even say it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander because he won a championship and last season he was the MVP. Sure, but Giannis for the last 5 to 6 seasons to me has been top 2 in the league. So we don't even necessarily want to go down that path, but it's sad that when you have one of the clear-cut top 3 players in the league, your team has no chance of winning, and everybody and their mama knows it. The most devastating thing for me personally, and I don't mean to go on a tangent here, but the most devastating thing to me that happened to the Milwaukee Bucks this offseason, it wasn't the Damian Lillard situation with his injury and them waiving him. It wasn't them acquiring Miles Turner, which was a terrible idea. You guys paying him $100 and whatever the fuck million when his own team wasn't willing to pay him that much money, to me just shows how desperate you guys are to try to do anything to keep Giannis.
That being said,
the worst thing that could have happened to the Milwaukee Bucks this offseason was Bradley Beal deciding to go to the Los Angeles Clippers instead of coming to the Milwaukee Bucks. Had Bradley Beal decided, and listen, I understand why he chose to go to the Los Angeles Clippers over the Milwaukee Bucks. Anybody who doesn't understand the difference between LA and Milwaukee is like,
I don't know what to tell you.
But if it was just a pure winning decision, he could have went to Milwaukee and it would have been an easy, seamless transition. Bradley Beal isn't good enough to be a number 1 option on a good team.
However,
he is great at being a number 2 option on a championship contending team. And that's what he would have been in Milwaukee had he gone to Milwaukee. Now, he didn't decide to do that. And I think that to me was the nail in the coffin to where, Milwaukee really has no other moves here. They're just doing things and they're trying to throw darts against the wall to try to see what sticks. And to me, it's really, really sad. I personally would have rather them kept Damian Lillard, have him come off you guys' books in 2 seasons as opposed to coming off you guys' books in 5 seasons, because now you guys are going to have more cap space to kind of work with in the seasons after Giannis and just trade Giannis and start over, get some draft picks or whatever. You guys didn't do that. You guys went all in, pushed the chips in the middle, and now you guys are still going to lose Giannis. That is not a very, very good look. The third thing that I really want to talk about is where I want to see Giannis go. Before I do that, though, I want to address the whole Giannis going to the New York Knicks thing, because I don't necessarily think that's a good idea. I don't even think that's a good idea for the Knicks right now, even though Giannis is one of the 3 best players in the league. I think the Knicks are good enough to win the title this season. I think they're good enough with their exact same roster, as long as their coach is up to the task. If they play well enough, if he coaches well enough, if their synergy is there the way it was supposed to be under Tibbs, they can win the title. If you decide to blow up this roster and get Giannis Antetokounmpo, what all are you giving up to get him? Because you can't give up Jalen Brunson. The only other trade chip that the Milwaukee Bucks would be interested in is Karl Anthony Towns, which is cool, but you guys are going to have to attach other things to him to be able to get a guy like a Giannis. You guys don't have the draft capital to be able to attach to Karl Anthony Towns. You guys aren't going to be trying to give up Mikal Bridges because you guys gave up 5 first-round picks to get him, which to me, again, was a stupid thing. Who in their right mind thought that it was a good idea to give up 5 first-round picks to get Mikal Bridges? 2, maybe 3, okay, but 5 first-round picks, you need to be fired, buddy. You guys lost out on Kevin Durant because of that trade, and you guys are now losing out on Giannis because the Milwaukee Bucks are really only going to be after draft capital. So I don't necessarily see how the Knicks situation works, and even if he does find his way onto the Knicks, I don't necessarily see how that works with the way him and Jalen Brunson kind of would clash, because Jalen Brunson isn't a real good spot-up shooter. He's really more of a give me the ball, and I kind of dance with it a little bit, and I get to the basket and create offense from there. But if he can figure it out with Giannis, cool. Now, a lot of people have said the Spurs have been rumored to be creating some sort of cap space to try to get Giannis, or they're stockpiling assets or whatever. I don't think that's a good fit. Him and Victor Wembanyama doesn't necessarily make sense to me how that would work
at all.
I want to see Giannis Antetokounmpo go to the Atlanta Hawks. A team with Giannis as the number 1 option, Trae Young as the number 2 option, that is a seamless hand in glove fit, okay? They both literally cover up each other's deficiencies in a way that I don't think any other duo would be able to. Now, there's some people that talk about the Warriors and him and Steph Curry. I think Steph Curry is really too old at this point. And obviously, he's still going to be a great player and he's still the greatest shooter in the history of the sport. But I think for his timeline, Giannis and Trae Young would be a much better fit than Steph Curry and Giannis would be. And Trae Young kind of approximates some of the things that Steph Curry does anyway. So it would probably be a much seamless fit for the Atlanta Hawks. They would be able to give up draft capital. They could give up a couple of those top picks that they already got in the past couple of seasons. They could do so much. Imagine a pick and roll, even if it's 1-4 or 4-1 pick and roll between Trae Young and Giannis. Trae Young's a great three-point shooter. He's not a Steph Curry level three-point shooter, obviously, but he's a great three-point shooter. Giannis can't shoot to save his life. Trae Young is a terrible defender. Giannis is one of the best defenders in the league. That duo, to me, if they were able to keep Porzingis on that roster as well, he can space the floor. He can block shots. Giannis can block shots. Yo, that would be a match made in heaven. But I don't want to go on too long of a tangent in this video. I really want to keep this video around like 10 minutes. But let me know what you guys think about this entire situation. Do you guys really think that Giannis is going to be staying in Milwaukee? And if not, where do you guys think is a good idea for Giannis to find himself on next season? I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me on this video. You guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be here with me. And I really do appreciate you.
If you liked what you heard today, do me a solid and like the video, share the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Those things really do help out the channel a lot, guys. And if you didn't like what you heard, thanks for allowing me to occupy your time. Consider leaving a comment in the comments down below, letting me know exactly what it was that you disagreed with, and maybe we could talk about it. Either way, I appreciate each and every one of you guys for pressing play on this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.